Good morning, everyone, and wait, hold on, it's Monday. Why is our video of dead meat here? Well, that is a question that can only be answered on Friday, or if you just check out the Dead Meat channel. But either way, welcome to a brand new video of Fox Flicks on Dead Meat. Today we're checking out the kill count for Final Destination Bloodline, which came out this year of 2025. Now let's hop in and see how Death decides to break the rules of a new life, new list. If you don't get what that means, go watch Final Destination 2.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James and today we're looking at Final Destination Bloodlines, released in 2025. Bloodlines is the sixth Final Destination movie, and the first new one in over a decade. The original five came out with striking regularity between 2000 and 2011. They were hits, both at the box office and in terms of cultural impact. And in the 14-year gap since the last movie was released, the series has only cemented its reputation in pop culture. I mean, it became a fucking verb. You don't drive behind a log truck because you don't want to get Final Destinationed. Bloodlines maintains the continuity of the first five films, so it's not a reboot. But in some ways, it does feel like a requel, or legacy sequel. Mostly because of how self-aware it is. This movie knows the effect that Final Destination has on people and leans into it in a playful and devilish way. It's constantly teasing you and making you feel uneasy at every little thing, just like a good Final Destination should.
Excuse me. Sorry, it does that sometimes.
But Bloodlines also improves upon its predecessors without sacrificing what makes them great. Obviously, the kills have always been a fun part of the series. Even the worst of them had memorable death sequences. Bloodlines is no exception. This time, though, we follow characters we actually care about, as opposed to a cavalcade of douchebags. Death's targets in Bloodlines are, as the name would suggest, members of a single family. That already makes for a deeper connection between them than high school friends, co-workers, high school friends, college friends, or random strangers who were driving on a highway together.
That's Final Destination 2, where it's just, these people are not connected at all, but Death is going after them.
Additionally, the characters are written way more sympathetically and portrayed by an excellent cast. While their behavior is sometimes heightened, I mean, this is a movie after all, they don't feel like cartoonish caricatures. They're real people with real relationships and way more shades of nuance. That makes the humor land better, in my opinion, and gives the film a bittersweet poignancy. You still laugh at the crazy kills going on, but at the same time, you feel bad for the people being killed. I kinda like that. It's like the best of both worlds, especially because it doesn't go easy on the kills, which are as gory and Rube Goldberg-y as ever. The editors have fun with them too, timing everything to the beat of needle drops that bring an epicness and sense of humor to the proceedings. All in all, this is pretty easily my favorite of the franchise. It's hilarious, sweet, violent, well-paced, and has the best send-off a horror legend could ever ask for. When Death runs in the family...
Wait, so this one actually had... damn it, I'm forgetting that guy's name, but this was the last movie he was actually ever in? Wow. Up until his passing.
Hello?
Tony Todd, that's the guy's name. Right, yes, I just remembered it. Tony Todd.
Oh, hello, James. Been a long time. I bet you've been wondering where I've been. But don't worry your pretty little head about it. You're not going to find me. Now listen, I have...
Yeah, your address is...
Whoa, how'd you do that?
How could you possibly know that? I'm even calling you with a blocked number.
Oh, yeah, your number is...
Where are you finding all of this out?
Well, you can pretty much Google anyone or anything and find out all sorts of personal information like this. These sites are run by data brokers who collect your
it must be a VPN of
personal information, package it up, and sell it to anyone who wants it, often for as little as a few dollars. And usually it's scammers and spammers who want it. It feels like theft. These companies build their entire business on our personal information, while we see none of the profit and have to jump through endless hoops just to try and stop them. And it's not just the economics of it that pisses me off. It's extremely negligent that people can dig up sensitive personal details and share it with whoever they want just because we live in a world where we have to exist online. I've been on YouTube long enough to know people who have been doxxed and hacked. I know creators who have had their address leaked and had to break their lease and move. I know people who have had cops prank called on them. When everything we do becomes data to be shared, it kills our right to privacy. That's why I started using Aura, the sponsor of this video. When death runs in the family, can anyone run from death? Let's find out and get to the kills.
Alright, here we go.
The movie
Kills.
begins with some train tracks. Wonder if those will come into play later. A vintage car drives over
Probably.
them. This is 1969. Or 69.
Nice.
Young lovers Iris and Paul are headed to a date, while the soundtrack rips off an American Werewolf in London. Thankfully, they pay for a new song in cash, since Johnny's bass baritone starts singing about an ominous ring of fire. Paul is surprising Iris with the grand opening of the Skyview, a fancy restaurant and nightclub that's nearly 500 feet in the air. They head up in the elevator to this monument to aristocratic acrophobia, which is opening 5 months ahead of schedule.
Is that a good thing?
Well, it's a Final Destination movie, so,
No.
you tell me. This place is full of fancy patrons, a snooty maitre d', a cheerful elevator operator.
Hold on.
Tell me, this place is full of fancy patrons, a snooty...
Is that, Patrick Stewart? I can't actually tell. The lighting is too off.
Maitre d', a cheerful elevator operator, and an enthusiastic singer named Evie. She's got her young son with her, and the poor kid is bored as hell. But he's much better behaved than Alfred Milano, a grade A disgusting little shit boy, as our friends at We Hate Movies would say. You know what we mean by that, a disgusting little shit boy. I mean, he's usually messy, he's up to no good. I don't think I need to elaborate. He's a disgusting little shit boy, come on. Alfred may be the most disgusting and little shittiest, stealing coins from a fountain, stomping on the glass elevator floor. I mean, the kid's a bad seed. Paul ain't posh enough to snag a table, according to the judgmental maitre d', but Iris sneaks him in anyway so they can take it.
If I could hear his voice, I would be able to tell that was Patrick Stewart, because, you know, everyone freaking knows the guy's voice. Also, about the glass floors, yeah, I'm completely against them. I don't make them solid or multi-layered.
The view. The terrifying, very high view. This opening scene is so effective at making every little thing feel like a prelude to disaster. Corks popping, heels clacking, glass squeaking. It's a total nightmare and feeds into what the series is known for.
Final Destination really brings to life anxieties that everyone experiences.
The sixth Final Destination began development back in 2016, but faced continual delays thanks to studio leadership changes, the COVID pandemic, and the SAG strike. Persevering through all of that was Craig Perry, who's been producing these movies since the very first one 25 years ago.
I first read the three...
And that's why this was technically Tony Todd's last theatrical appearance before his passing. Because it took 9 years! Good fuck!
Page outline in 1997, if that gives you even more context.
This guy is awesome to talk to about these films. He freaking loves them. He took all the extra time to really study what makes them great, saying the kills and disasters need to be accessible, identifiable, and imbued with a sense of a malevolent threat. Perry and the other producers heard from over 200 filmmakers who wanted to lead the project, but went with the duo of Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein, who had met in 2007 on a... Wait, what? Steven Spielberg reality competition? What the fuck is on the lot? Lipovsky and Stein were huge fans of the franchise and won the producers over in a Zoom meeting. In it, they secretly swapped out their call with a pre-recorded video where their room caught on fire and Stein got decapitated by a ceiling fan. It showed the producers they understood the tone of the series. As the Skyview band plays Fallen by the late Connie Francis, Iris starts to feel like she's walking on a tightrope swinging in the breeze. She tries to keep her balance, but she just weakens in the knees. She ducks around a corner to throw up, which as we all know is movie shorthand for she pregnant. Evie knows it too, but apparently Paul doesn't. But the singer tells Iris that as long as they love each other, they can work it out. They can work it out. After all, life is very short, and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. Iris and Paul step out onto the balcony where that disgusting little ship...
Hey, so before we continue this, I want to point out one thing. Him dropping the coin from the top of the tower wouldn't actually do anything. And people have tried that. And, you know, over the years, because of the Empire State Building and that whole rumor that if you dropped a penny, it could kill a person. In reality, it wouldn't even reach the ground. And the air currents that are going up the building from just wind pushing on it, it would actually throw the coin back up.
Boys trying to throw pennies off the roof.
Oh, I'm so sorry, of course. Yeah.
And
Paul proposes to Iris, and she responds by telling him about the pregnancy. He likes it, so he puts a ring on it.
Oh, that's
snug,
perfect.
though. Wonder if that'll come into play later. As the newly engaged couple leaves, the little ship boy takes that penny and gives it a chuck. All that day, they'll be pretty fucked, since it winds up lodged in a fan blade. Iris and Paul celebrate their engagement on the dance floor. Tonight, you're the star, girl. The band plays Shout, which is the best song to dance to at a wedding. And one of the best Fortnite dances, too. Seriously, it's fantastic. This high-energy performance is stressful as hell, as the dominoes of inevitable destruction are lined up. They dance it so hard they pop in rivets. And damn, none of y'all notice that giant crack in the glass floor? The penny pings out
Oh,
of the vent
God.
and knocks open a gas pipe as the music and merriment reach a crescendo. And then it happens.
There it goes. Yep.
Oh shit, those people are fucked. They're gonna fall so far, dude. And they're hitting beams on the way down, too.
Oh,
God
damn it.
The last to fall is Paul, Iris's boyfriend. Or, hey, wait, fiancé.
Fiancé now, yeah.
Yes, ex now.
Oh,
Everyone
there it
falls
goes.
to the ground near valets, listening to raindrops keep falling on my head. It's horrible and hilarious all at the same time. Underlining
Perfectly timed.
how the death of Final Destination has a pitch black sense of humor. I can just imagine him making a playlist on Spotify and including those earlier songs, like Ring of Fire. That one gets real relevant real fast as shit goes bananas Foster inside the restaurant.
There it goes.
Evie gets burned alive right in front of her kid. Jesus Christ, dude. Another woman is lit ablaze too in what may have set the record for the oldest ever burn stunt. Hell yeah, lady, look at her go. She is sprinting on fire. 71-year-old Yvette Ferguson rehearsed this 8 or 9 times before they ever got on set. She comes from a family of stunt performers and came out of retirement just to do this.
She said,
that's nice.
Everyone else in my family's been on fire except for me. This is so exciting, and I never thought I'd get the chance.
The remaining Skyview survivors are trampling
that
each
is
other,
lovely.
trying to find a way out of here. Little shitboy pushes his way past and makes it down the stairs, unlike a bunch of people who fall out as a whole wall crumbles and collapses. The only option left is the Tower of Terror elevator, which quickly turns into a claustrophobic catastrophe. The maitre d' shoves Iris out of the way to get inside, but is rewarded by getting torn the fucking half when the cables break. Oh my god, that is a thing of absolute beauty.
That would definitely kill a person a lot more than just doors closing on them.
Be right there. The
That
floor
was
starts to
good.
split apart, sending people to slam against the windows like bugs on a windshield. Iris manages to escape and tries to help one lady to safety, but that pesky penny provides just enough weight to knock over a piano that plays her off. Damn, dude. That
Oh,
one felt
no!
sad. Still, this whole sequence is a series of applause-worthy moments.
Oh,
wonder
that
this
angle.
movie blew up at the box office. This is a riot to watch with a crowd. I mean, where else are you gonna have audiences applauding this? People openly cheered at a child's death, man. That's something
deserved it.
special. The opening disaster was originally going to take place on a riverboat, but the filmmakers realized there was no topping the ultimate on-screen boatastrophe.
We were
That
just
is
like, there's
true.
no way to like out Titanic in this situation.
They changed
I mean, it's called the Titanic, so it would be a Titanic feat.
the setting from the water to the sky and spent over a year figuring out every detail. It was the first thing filmed on a beautiful 100-foot set designed by Rachel Toole.
Truly
They joked that
beautiful.
the set cost more than the entire first Final Destination film. This main
Oh,
set was
damn.
surrounded by a custom volume wall with LEDs that could show the skyline at any angle they wanted. They also had a set that could tilt for people to slide down, and another that could be lifted into the air for shots from underneath the dance floor. The Skyview Tower itself was inspired by Seattle's Space Needle and Toronto CN Tower. The base of it is
Both
played
beautiful.
by the Museum of Vancouver, which is where they shot this movie, just like most of the earlier films. The massive
that
sequence
is
involved
nice.
140 extras and took half the film's entire shoot to capture. While there is a bit of a CG feel to some of it, they shot a ton of it practically. There are a lot of stunt performers performing a lot of wire stunts.
I don't think we've ever dropped 20 people all in
I
one shot
guess
at
it
one
makes
time.
sense.
Some of the deaths had practical baselines too, even if they added CG layers on top. The maitre d's death used a really sick-looking life-size prosthetic.
They put it next to me, and it freaked me out.
And when it came time to wipe away the little shit boy, they actually dropped a real piano 80 feet and comped it in for the effect. This place is
Damn.
really falling apart now, and Iris is one of only 2 people left. The other, a kid in a box, Evie's son, who Iris rushes over to help. But not much she can do when the whole thing starts to come down. Her ring saves her for like a second, but
Oh,
then she
no.
gets 1/5 of a Gerald's game. She and the little boy plummet to
Oh.
their deaths, with Iris hitting a
It just degloved her. If you don't know what that means, don't Google it. For the love of God, do not Google degloving.
spire. Whoa. Whoa, that's not Iris. That's someone else. We've never whoa'd out of an Iris into somebody else. Not in 5 freaking movies.
That
We
is
always whoa'd
us.
right back to the premonition hammer, right before the premonition started. It's a great change in the
Yeah.
format that made me yell when I first saw it, since now we're in the present almost 60 years later. Stephanie is a college student who's
Oh.
nowhere to be seen in the Skyview premonition,
past.
but she's been seeing it in her dreams every night for the past few months. Her poor roommate. She's come to realize that Iris must be her maternal grandmother, whom she's never met. She decides to go back home to try to figure out what it could mean. Careful now, Steph. Don't get pulled over for driving under a premonition. Her dad, Marty, doesn't want to talk about her grandma Iris, and her mom, Darlene, left the family when Stephanie was 10. So she decides to try the extended fam and heads over to her cousin's house with her little bro, Charlie. He's moody towards her because she never visits, but she thaws the
Aw,
tension by
come on.
opening up about her situation.
I am on academic probation.
This one scene does so much to make you quickly care about these siblings. As a little brother myself, I can say this is perfect little brother acting courtesy of Teo Briones, who was also phenomenal as Junior in the first season of the Chucky series. At the cousin's house, we meet the extended family, headed by their mom's brother Uncle Howard and his wife Aunt Brenda. Their 3 kids are the cousins. We're playing Mortal Kombat 1, hell yeah!
Ooh,
a katana main. Yeah, I can respect that. Eric, the oldest, is a sarcastic tattoo artist. Julia, the middle child, was Stephanie's childhood best friend. She's cold to Steph now, since she stopped coming around after she left for college. Julia has been filling in as Charlie's big—
Okay, hold on. Why are people so upset about that? That shit just happens normally. They went off to college, so they completely forgot the family. Get the hell over it! I'm sorry. I don't know why that just kind of triggered me like that. It's like, you're upset over nothing. And like, unless it's a full ride scholarship into that college, shut the hell up. Because that's still thousands of dollars being used to even walk inside that building. So yeah, unless it's a full ride, shut the hell up.
Big sister, and clearly
you have no reason to complain.
Absence.
Junior lifeguards, Charlie. I didn't know you were doing junior lifeguards. You didn't tell me that.
So what are you gonna wear?
The youngest sibling is Bobby, who, like Jonathan the zombie, likes turtles.
I like turtles.
Despite her dad warning her not to, Stephanie asks Uncle Howard about his mom. He tells her that Grandma Iris lost her mind after her husband died, becoming obsessed with death to the point that she refused to let her kids leave the house. Things got so bad the state had to intervene and took Howard and Darlene away. Iris wouldn't give up though, and kept sending them letters with obituaries and pictures of horrific accidents. They eventually had to move so she couldn't contact them anymore. All in all, he's not a big fan.
That woman is a sick and dangerous person.
But that sign doesn't stop Stephanie because she can read. She finds a box with all the letters Iris sent. She follows the return address to a place way the fuck out in the middle of nowhere. It's reminiscent of—
Damn, this is some wrong tone kind of area.
Kimberly visiting Clear at the asylum in Final Destination 2. In fact, when she gets there, Stephanie has to empty her pockets, just like Kimberly had to do. That's because her cautious Grandma Iris is turtling inside this fortress.
I'm not dangerous. It's not you I'm afraid of.
Lady, your cabin's surrounded by spikes and stagnant water. Malaria all up in this bitch. Not to mention the tetanus. And shit, those literally look like video game barrels that I would shoot to blow up.
No, they aren't red, James. Rule 1 of video game battles. If it's red, it explodes. If it's not red, it ain't exploding.
Actually, video game barrels are red when they explode.
This isn't a video game,
Zoran.
That's your series. And it's back.
Yeah, it is.
Iris tells Steph to come inside, but to be careful. So yeah, maybe don't slam the door so hard you knock down a fire extinguisher. Death loves shit like that. Stephanie tells Iris about the dream she's been having.
It wasn't just your dream.
That was real.
It was my premonition.
We reverse into a secret retina restaurant to see what happened after Iris had her premonition. She recognized the warning signs and ran back inside and got everyone to stop fucking stomping all over that glass floor. I love how capable Iris is here. It makes you really grateful that she's the one who had the premonition.
I saved a lot of lives that night.
She sure did, which is why we didn't count any of the crazy deaths in the beginning. They never actually happened in real life. But that doesn't mean those people won't end up on the kill count.
Death doesn't like it when you fuck with his plans.
Over the years, everyone who was there that day has died in freak accidents.
I mean, like, literally those one line in one of the first 3, I think, from Tony Todd himself, where he says, "And you don't fuck with that Mac Daddy." Yeah. Like, I think that's a line that he says as the corner, but I can't remember which one it was in.
We'll get to them later. And now Death is caught up to Iris, because she has cancer. Wait, how'd she get that diagnosed? She says she hasn't left the house in 20 years. Can cancer medicine be Instacarted? Iris gives Stephanie the Final Destination protagonist prime directive.
When the universe speaks, you pay attention.
Yeah, whether it comes in the form of torn bits of paper, blurry photographs, or shitty PS2 looking 3D visions. Don't ignore them. Iris certainly doesn't.
I see you fuck.
That's a call back to the first movie, when a bunkered down Alex called out Death the same way.
I see you fuck. You ain't getting me that easily. Throw funk. Damn it!
Tried to capitalize, but I caught you. You fuck.
Iris warns Steph that she and the rest of her family were never supposed to exist in the first place. So once Death is through with Iris, he'll come looking for the rest of them. Older Iris is played by Gabrielle Rose, who has—
Actually, that's kind of a good question, though. What if someone escapes death, but then completely lives out their life until they have a natural death? A heart attack or anything like that. And would Death not go on with the elaborate plans, or would he just be like, oh, finally, now we gotta fast track all of this? That's a good question.
Small roles in The Stepfather and Jennifer's Body. She does a great job embodying Iris's all-consuming paranoia and dread, as well as the expertise she's developed over the years dodging death. She's prepared a Death for Dummies notebook that details how to spot death before he can strike. But the Unabomber-looking manifesto freaks Steph out and makes her think the rest of her family was right. Grandma Iris cray. She leaves, and Iris makes the choice to step outside for the first time in decades, or since her last trip to Rite Aid, just so she can give the book to Steph.
Take the book.
Then, to really drive the point home, she steps back and lets death do its thing.
Oh, there it goes.
God damn! I mean, seeing is believing, and Steph just saw a weather vane impale her grandma through the back of the head. It gives us our first kill to count and gives Steph a lifetime of trauma. Man, that was gnarly. Iris has
that actually was very badass. Just take the book. Book is handed off. Steps back. Take me. Immediately! Not even 5 seconds!
A funeral with an overhead coffin shot that's reminiscent of the Ashes funeral from part 3. As the service concludes, an RV pulls up, marking the return of Darlene, Stephanie and Charlie's mom. Uncle Howard welcomes his estranged sister back, but Steph and her dad aren't quite as enthusiastic, since she abandoned them about a decade ago. Charlie is happy to see his mom again, and says Steph shouldn't throw stones. She abandoned him and Julia when she left for college. She says she's nothing like their mom. She's not crazy.
You're not crazy. You just don't care.
Doesn't care like a fox. Stephanie goes home and reads Iris's death note while the rest of the family has a barbecue. It's a scene that millions of people saw thanks to its inclusion in the trailer, the one Chelsea and I did a fun breakdown video for.
Yeah, we all pretty much know what's going to happen and who's going to be the main kill, because, like he said, it's literally in the trailer.
Where we incorrectly guessed everyone's relationship.
I'm guessing dating this guy.
Nope.
I'm gonna guess that these two are partners.
Siblings.
I'm assuming that this woman, number 2, she's probably married to Hawaiian shirt dad here.
Nope, siblings.
Regardless of the relations, these people know how to party. They got giant Jenga and a trampoline. Thing needs to be tightened though, or raised or something. There's not enough clearance above the ground. In a move that would send John Tapper into conniptions, baby boy Bob.
Yeah, judging by the way it was pulling off at the end, it would need to be like re-sewn. But most of the time when that happens, the only thing you can do is just completely replace it with a brand new. What the hell do you actually call that part of the trampoline? You got the frame, but then what's the part you actually jump on? The sheet?
Bobby breaks a glass at the bar.
Damn it.
Julia's done with his shit. A shard of glass gets mixed in with a tub of ice, which is then emptied into glasses for a game of drink roulette. But before that's played, Darlene makes an appearance with some ill-advised baked goods. They've got peanuts in them, and Bobby is allergic.
Are you trying to kill my brother?
Yeah, don't
I
be
didn't know
stepping on
about
Death's
that.
toes. Previous Final Destinations have played around with fake-outs and teasing the audience's expectations, like the screw on the gymnastics beam in Part 5. Bloodlines does it best.
Yeah, I remember that.
In the opening scene, and here with this death trap of a barbecue. There's a rake under the trampoline, a grill trying to start fires like a baby Barrymore, and Chekhov's ice shard that's in someone's drink. We're all holding our necks uncomfortably as we watch the family toast and take sips. It's so stressful.
Just put it there.
Julia? Are you all right?
Oh my god, there's a bug in there.
At home, Steph sees broken glass and gets a funny feeling some fatal shit's about to go down. She rushes to the barbecue in time to see Bobby fall through the trampoline, but since Darlene grabbed the rake earlier, he's totally fine. But you never know what Death actually has planned, because here we are worried about their throats when the glass shard ends up in Howard's foot. He assures his family it's just a flesh wound, but a series of unfortunate events in the background switch on the lawnmower, which runs over Howard's face and turns this family reunion into a sinister tape. And we all know how scary those are. Yeah, man, that's scary. Amazing horror scream by Anna Laurie, who's become a good friend of ours,
so
and even presented at the Horror Awards last year.
Oh, better be careful. Don't want to get Final Destination.
I met her at the premiere for Hysteria, the underrated Peacock show that she guest starred on, and which also features your humble kill counter in a cameo.
Hey!
Hysteria, watch it on Peacock. Bruce Campbell's in it. Seeing Howard dead convinces Steph that Iris was onto something, and that there may be a way out, since Jack Black found someone who survived. Stephanie, who's JB? Just one half of the greatest band who ever lived, motherfucker! She gathers Iris's evidence pointing towards a death conspiracy.
That actually would be hilarious if it was Jack Black in this movie. It's just Jack Black playing Jack Black.
Obituaries and articles showing how everyone who Iris saved has since died from horrific accidents, and any offspring those people have faced a similar end. Some fun bits to spot if you pause during the scene. Apparently, the little ship boy became a pickpocket and died in a piano accident, just like he did in The Premonition. Another article mentions a socialite who died in a house fire, probably our fire stunt gal, and the maitre d' still ended up killed in an elevator accident. Even Iris's death was on point. Literally, the weather vane went through her just like a spire did at the end of her premonition.
That's right.
Iris's notebook also has references to the previous movies, like the plane accident from the first film, the log truck from the second, and the bridge disaster from the fifth. These accidents weren't connected to the Skyview patrons, but the filmmakers wanted to honor them anyway. They also included Easter eggs like Heist Pale Ale at the barbecue and On Howard Shirt. It's a fictional beer brand that's been in the movies since the second one. Stephanie's license plate matches Carter's from the first film, and Iris's boyfriend's car has a plate that reads FL818E, referencing Flight 180. The directing duo Lipovsky and Stein had a reverence for the series, as did everyone else involved. Hell, their stunt coordinator, who also played a burning Skyview patron, began his career playing a student who died on Flight 180. There were even some fun Bloodline connections. Breck Bessinger, who does a great job as young Iris, had just been in a movie playing the daughter of Ali Larder, who was in the first two films.
It's very fun to text her and be like, hey, I'm following in your footsteps. I just got cast in the new Final Destination.
And in the Chucky TV series, Teo Brion's dad was played by OG Final Destination star, my boy Devin Sawa.
He was the first person I texted.
Lipovsky and Stein ran a fun and encouraging set.
Richard, you sold that, buddy.
All of the BTS I watched seemed like
painful.
one giant love fest.
Everyone who makes these movies is just having a great time.
You can really tell the directors set that
I'd have fun.
I imagine that they like put on matching pajamas and get into little like Dick Van Dyke beds at night, and they're like, "Good night, Zach. Good night, Adam."
Still, these fuckers created quite the conundrum for the kill count. Our rule is that we count mass kills if the event is shown on screen and we get a verified number of victims. That was the case for all 5 of the previous.
Oh, and but in this case, how would you do that?
His Final Destinations. Here, we don't see the actual deaths since the Skyview disaster never actually happened. But we did technically meet all these people when we saw them in Iris's flashback. Since we did meet them in video form and we're learning about their deaths now, that makes them eligible to count. Writer Addison counted 138 deaths on Steph's murder map, which, I don't know, could be the number of people Iris saved that day. So that's what we'll put on the count. And note that any descendants who died don't count, since we never met them. Steph presents the project to her remaining family members like the world's most fucked up PowerPoint party. She explains that Death is going to kill off Iris's descendants in order, now that he finally caught up to her.
Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist.
It began with Iris's eldest child, Howard, and...
Though still, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because of one thing. In one of the movies, someone literally had an idea that if a life is born that was not meant to be born, Death would have to redo his list, completely erasing the whole thing. But I can't remember much about that. All I know is that that was used in the cut ending of the first one.
Like a monarchical line of succession, it'll go through his kids next. Eldest Eric, middle gal Julia, and then poor baby Bobby. After them, it'll go to Iris's younger child Darlene, and then on to her kids, Stephanie, and finally Charlie. Their dad Marty and Howard's widow Aunt Brenda are safe, since they're not part of the bloodline. Lucky them. Obviously, no one believes them.
You're turning our dad's death into some kind of fucked up conspiracy theory. What is wrong with you? No.
Everyone leaves to process their grief far away from the person telling them they're all gonna die. I just gotta say again that the cast of a Final Destination movie has no right being this good. It helps that the directors insisted on rehearsal time, which is actually pretty rare nowadays, and encouraged improv on set since the actors got to know each other so well. They're able to handle a whole gamut of emotions. Grief, skepticism, anger, acceptance. You got all the stages here. They managed to be funny while doing it, like how when Eric's closing at work, he switches his playlist from Eric's tattoo mix to Eric's sad mix. Then he gives himself a memorial tattoo for his dad. It's hilarious and adds a lot of texture to the movie and depth to his character. Death starts up its Rube Goldberg machine again, which isn't difficult since this place has the dumbest ceiling decor I've ever seen. Stuff gets knocked over and spilt all around until a chain comes loose from the ceiling and somehow hooks itself to Eric's nose ring. The chain wraps around the fan, pulling Eric upward and forcing him onto a chair, and then the counter, which isn't built to hold the weight of a grown man. can. Not sure
Just
why he isn't grabbing
undo
on with
it already.
both hands and either pulling himself up or pulling the ceiling fan down, but eventually he manages to unhook his nose.
Yeah.
Too bad he swings into a whole bunch of fire and broken glass shards, getting branded and losing the entire
that
tattoo
hurts.
shop to flames. This sequence, which was partially released as the movie's first teaser trailer, is only 6 minutes long, but took 5 days to film. They set up an actual Rube
5
Goldberg
days?
sequence and did 20 takes until the items fell like they were supposed to. Should have hired OK Go to do it. They also really hooked a chain to a nose ring on actor Richard Harmon, using an apparatus to hold it in place while his body weight was supported by wires. This scene and all the movie's kills were carefully planned out with elaborate previs productions that ended up looking like really bad, cheaply shot short films. I fucking love them. Harmon did most of the stunts
That's kinda
himself.
funny, though.
He's like the Buster Keaton of horror, if you will.
Except for when he falls to the ground and lands in the fire. That was a stunt performer. The next morning,
Yeah,
Steph and Charlie haven't heard from Eric, so they speed over and almost do Death's job for him.
Ow! What?
He's alive?
Kill me?
Eric survived the ordeal with nothing more than a heart-shaped branding.
I actually like how the brand is there on the same arm, and pretty much exactly right there with the word Dad. So, weirdly enough, I don't know if Death was trying to kill him in that shop and brand his body, or if Death just wanted to add his own flair to that tattoo. But either way, good job, Death.
Which is actually
You
pretty
dick.
bitchin'. So now he definitely don't believe in the death curse.
Maybe Death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be fucking crazy.
Jeez! Shit!
Another great thing.
Yeah, maybe get the hell out of the middle of the road!
Which references Terry's infamous bus kill from the first movie. For her
Drop
part, Steph
dead.
is starting to see potential death everywhere.
I don't know, the trimmer could fall and hit the leaf blower guy, which causes him to blow stuff into the kid's eyes and then kick the ball into his face.
Eric trashes her concerns and gets grabby with a garbage truck to prove her wrong. Man,
Dude.
come on. Don't put your mouth on that. Even if death curses aren't real, E. coli is. While they argue, Steph's prediction
disgusting.
comes true, only with Julia instead of Eric. In the far background, her exact prediction plays out. It ends up knocking her cousin into—
Wow! Exactly like the way she thought. It fell over, hit the guy, blew into the kid's face, hit hard, knocked him onto the trash can. Impressive.
a trash can,
right sequence, wrong person.
Which is then scooped into the truck. wait, is that the soccer kid hightailing it away on his bike? Hey, it wasn't me, I didn't see nothing. They try to stop the truck,
I didn't do
thwarted
nothing.
by a hilarious hard cut to Kelly Clarkson and a manic swiping sesh. The song is Stronger, of course. A funny choice for a franchise where what doesn't kill you actually just makes death hunt you down and try again. They finally get the truck to stop, and Steph tries to pull Julia free. She should be fine. She's not next on the list. But Death disagrees. Julia is crushed to death by the trash compactor.
Oh, there it
my
goes.
God. This is so fucking gnarly. The way the top of her head slides off like that. Oh, and then she's left with a stringy, gory arm in the end, too.
Oh, there it goes.
This death scene was the first thing Anna Laurie shot, and was one of the most challenging effects for the team at Masters Effects. They modeled the head squish after pears and tomatoes being crushed, and used a combo of digital effects and a practical crushable head. For the truck itself,
So
Pacific
nice.
West Special Effects built a crusher based off a construction tool used to find angles of corners. The metal rods with rubber tips retracted when going around the performer's head, and director Adam Stein tried it out first to show that it was safe. It's an incredible effect.
It's very unnerving and unsettling because you see this piece of metal coming at someone's face, and then all of a sudden the metal stops, but it keeps growing around the rest of their face.
I love the tool compared to those pin screen toys where you can make an impression of the
Ba-da-da-da-da.
They then filled the truck interior with clean but gross materials like wet oatmeal and placed Lori inside. She didn't do the trash can dump. That was performed by her stunt double Evelyn Gonda. Finally, the kill had more gore added in post, which I kind of wish they didn't do. Like, it's not as bad as the fourth movie where awesome practical effects were covered up with cartoon blood, but I do wish
way
they
too
had gone a
much blood
little
in that
lighter
movie.
with the digital dressing. Steph blames herself for screwing up the order, but Aunt Brenda says no, it's her fault. She confesses that Eric isn't Howard's biological son, and thus isn't part of the bloodline.
Oh, shit! You get to live! Oh, wait, no, that means you're an unfair child. Oh, crap, your life is still over.
He had an affair with some guy named Jerry Fenbury.
Jerry Fenbury?
Yeah, dude, Jerry Fenbury.
What, is this why you always wanted to play catch?
Harmon improvised 10 different takes of his reaction, trying different punchlines until they got to this one. And Brenda, exits the movie completely. Because, I mean, fuck it. She's not on death's chopping block.
Yeah.
Baby boy Bobby is, though, and he's next in line. So he begs Steph to help him survive. After all,
let's figure it out.
Death's plans, just like Iris could.
It's like an equation. It's math.
Yeah, it's like the Pythagorean theorem. She remembers Iris's notebook mentioning that other survivor named JB. Darlene says it's a friend of her mom's who works at a nearby hospital. What was that place's name again? Something River?
Clear.
No. Clear Rivers was Ali Larter's character in the first two films. And yes, her name was Clear, not Claire. I wasn't the wrong one that time. Commenters from throughout the years. Damn, some of you were so confidently wrong. We figure out the name of Hope River Hospital and decide to drive there. Bobby wants to come too, refusing to be left alone at home.
I mean, there's like 1,000 house-related deaths in that thing, man. You could trip down the stairs, fall down a toilet or something. I don't know.
Toilet.
He
He's
might even
panicking.
clean up after himself with that one too. Even though Eric ain't a member of this bloodline, he decides to tag along to keep an eye out for his brother.
I'm
and
still family.
He's the only one who remembers to do a nut check.
Nut check. What?
Son of a bitch!
On the drive over, Steph sees evidence that Darlene kept them in her thoughts. She only left because she was afraid of giving them the same childhood Iris gave her, when completely taken over by fear. It wasn't a decision she took lightly. It had a deep impact on her. They reach the hospital and head to the morgue, where they see a mortician performing an autopsy on an unnamed male body. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and count that, whatever. It is far from the most important part of the scene.
There
this
he
is.
is.
The Return of the King.
William John Bloodworth, but my friends call me JB.
Your friends call you great. Bloodworth was a pivotal character in the original.
It is so good to see you again, Bloodworth, aka Tony Todd, aka the Candy Man.
Final Destination, as well as part.
Oh, and Tony the Tiger, if I remember correctly.
2, and the surprise.
No, that's Vincent Ravencroft. Yeah, no, that is Ravencroft. Sorry. But all these guys have just deep voices. I'm sorry.
Surprisingly good part 5. Turns out he was also the little boy Iris saved at the Skyview all those years ago.
Oh.
After that, they became friends and learned the ways of death together. He even helped her get medical care. Oh, so he was the DoorDash doctor. Bloodworth tells them the only 2 ways to stop death, according to the franchise so far. Kill someone and get the time they had left.
Take their life.
Idea introduced in Final Destination 5. Or die and be brought back to life, which is what he's seen, as the Notebook hinted at, since he knew Kimberly from Final Destination 2. She did the whole flatliners thing.
That's what happened. Okay, that's how you break the list.
And apparently ended the death curse. Bloodworth confirms that she survived. He warns them that death is a bitch and that he knows his time is soon. He's sick, thus his frail appearance. He leaves them and the film with one final piece of wisdom.
I intend to enjoy the time I have left.
Aww.
And I suggest that you do the same. Life is precious. Enjoy every single second. You never know when.
I'm not trying to be corny, but this scene is
good.
very emotional to watch. The producer said it was a top
Obviously.
priority to include Bloodworth, since he means so much to the fans. Tony Todd knew this would likely be his final appearance in the franchise.
We're acknowledging a passage of time, and I'm not immortal.
He had been quietly diagnosed with stomach cancer, which he kept private but told the producers. They decided to let him come up with his character's final words, which would be a direct message to the fans. I'm not surprised he came up with that beautiful line himself. It was a truly beautiful human being.
Really
And
wonderful.
all the people out there that love the franchise, and they obviously
Thank
do.
you, Mr.
Goodbye
Todd.
is never goodbye. Goodbye is just the beginning.
I never want to overstate how close I was to him. I had an amazing lunch with him one time, and he always said hi and hugged me and Chelsea at conventions. But that was enough to make you feel like his friend. He was a great man, and I'm glad he got to leave his legacy in literally the best way possible. We all
God
have to go
rest
one
your
day,
soul.
but few can do so as gracefully as Tony Todd. He was a class act to the very end, to Tony. Steph and the others don't know what to do, but Eric's drawn
Pour a
to the
drink out for
Flatliners
him.
idea. All they've got to do is kill Bobby and bring him back. I mean, they pulled it off in Countdown and that one Fear Street movie, and they're already in a hospital. Shouldn't be that hard. They run off to figure out the fratricide, pausing only ever.
How would you actually go about that? Because, like, they did the drowning route in that second movie. What could you... I mean, I guess technically if you get a defibrillator, you could stop their heart with that and then restart their heart with that. But you have to make sure that the device doesn't malfunction and because then he just did Death's job for him.
Or so briefly to consider the other option. Bobby could kill someone else and get the time that they had left.
Hell
and,
no!
You know, babies have a lot of time left.
Well, I mean,
No.
No, no.
Of course not. Of course
no.
we wouldn't do that.
No,
Right?
we would never.
Don't touch those babies.
Since they're
Get
not
the
that
idea
chick
out
from
of your
Jigsaw,
mouth.
they don't kill any babies, and instead decide to use Bobby's nut allergy. He picks some peanut butter cups for his last meal, but the vending machine doesn't want to give him up. Well, I get. Oh, come on, man. Really?
You
You're gonna
idiots.
do that in this situation? Vending machines kill more people than sharks. It gives up the goods, and they sneak into an MRI
jeez.
room where they're confronted by the beginning of Saw X. They don't notice when a falling clipboard wakes up a computer that turns on the machine. They're too busy trying to save their family from the curse.
Me and you, we are going to fix things for everyone.
Damn, man. You can really read into that. These two have probably always felt like the least...
Yeah, if you're wondering what the MRI machine is going to do, many of y'all probably don't know this, but it's a giant fucking magnet. And this guy has piercings everywhere. So, yeah, magnet plus metal equals flesh ripped off.
Successful or most immature members of the family. This is their chance to be the heroes. Hope it works out for them. Eric confiscates Bobby's EpiPen to make sure he can't save himself, and then Bobby takes a bite.
Oh my God.
What?
It's good.
That's really good.
Actor Owen Joyner actually has a peanut allergy in real life, so he was able to bring genuine anxiety about the danger to these scenes. Anaphylaxis hits, and Bobby panics, causing Eric to drop his phone. It flies at the MRI and hits the screen, cranking up the power until it starts plucking out his piercings. It's a hilarious and painful sight gag as they fly from his face, and then his nipples, and then, oh no! His magnetized member pulls him forward, and the wheelchair slams into his back, pushing him into the MRI and stretching out his stomach tat. He's folded in half backwards as the wheelchair spokes impale him into the machine. I think Eric's the first Final Destination victim who wasn't on Death's list. But hey, Bloodworth warned him.
And if you fuck with death and lose, things can get very messy.
Yeah,
Richard
no,
Harmon
they
saw
got
the
messy.
first 5 Final Destinations as they came out and knew how special it would be to get killed in one.
I feel like I got really lucky with my death.
For his incredible kill, they created a reverse folding torso with breakaway tattooed skin. The spokes going through the belly tattoo are an homage to the 5th movie's poster. For his
that's
back
kinda
bend,
cool.
They built a double-decker platform inside the MRI, like the kind used in a magic trick where someone is sawed in half. You know, when it's not a leprechaun doing it. Harmon took the top half, while a stunt double named Colton played the part of his legs. He had to squeeze himself into just the tiniest little space.
He has a much better butt than I do, so that's great for everybody when this comes out.
They even sewed their clothes together to really sell the effect, and the CG wheelchair was added digitally by the VFX team.
That
Bobby crawls
was
his
really
puffy
good.
ass over to Eric's
Well
body
done.
and grabs the EpiPen to administer the medicine just in time. But that damn vending machine from earlier loses a spring that rockets through his nog. Oh no!
Damn it.
Oh,
There it
and
goes.
keeps spiraling in deeper. Oh, that's so mean.
Oh.
And then he falls, ripping his head in half. Oh, god damn, man.
Fuck,
The
that was
Howard
brutal.
family is dead.
I love it.
Save for Brenda. Sequel character? That leaves Darlene and her kids as the last one standing. They decide to go to Grandma Iris's cabin.
Outside is dangerous, but inside is the safest place that there is.
I mean, agree to disagree. That place was whack. It was worse than Alex's shitty cabin where he was eating dog food or whatever. But
Oh,
Darlene
what
will do
was
what
he
Iris
eating?
did. Live in isolation and stave off death for as long as she possibly can. That'll at least allow her kids to live some kind of life. They come with her to keep her
Oh,
safe,
yeah.
since Steph is an expert vibes reader. I mean, she saves them from getting hit by a logging truck. Come
Logging
on, Darlene.
truck.
Leave that shit in part 2. They managed to reach the cabin,
Haha.
but turns out they were beaten there by Death's most loyal accomplice, Wind. With the weather getting frightful, they decide the best way to keep from dying is driving their RV full speed through a metal gate right
What?
into the punji stick yard and Mosquito Pond. What the fuck are you
Dude.
doing? Steph's seatbelt gets broken in the process. Good
Oh,
job,
crap.
geniuses. So she sends Charlie and Darlene on without her.
Just
They get
get
to the front
someone to
door,
show up to
but
cut
Death's
it.
done playing around with them and uses a
Oh,
gas
no.
leak to blow the whole place up. Oh shit.
Oh,
Oh shit. Oh, he
jeez.
went flying. The RV gets tipped over right into Skeeter Pond, trapping Stephanie underwater. This sequence was done with a huge practical explosion.
Oh,
They filmed
holy
with 8
shit.
cameras at a high speed. Actress Caitlin Santajuana trained so she could hold her breath for 2 minutes underwater to make filming comfortable. They're mostly comfortable.
I couldn't see for like the next 2 days after from all like the chlorine. But it was honestly so fun.
I don't think Juana gets enough credit for her performance.
Hey, as long as it's safe and fun, that's good for
It's
everyone.
probably because she has to play the serious character. Everyone else gets to have more fun, but she really holds everything together as the linchpin of the cast. Charlie gets trapped beneath some wreckage, but luckily his melted mama's here to save his life. Coming in clutch, Darlene.
I'm gonna stay alive as long as
Nope, there you go.
God, good lord, the trauma these.
I'm gonna stay alive as long as I can. Immediately gets crushed.
People are packing in.
Yeah,
It's
fucked up.
insane. Darlene's death here was the result of reshoots. Originally, she was crushed much earlier by a falling letter from the hospital sign after narrowly surviving an incident with a revolving door. You can actually see shots of it in the trailer, but the final cut only features the revolving door in a fake-out scare when they first get to the hospital. Charlie gets inside the RV and grabs a knife to cut through Steph's seatbelt. Oh, and his hand. Damn, that's deep. As he tries to get her free, the picture Iris is in on her. But after a beat of black, she's back, coughing up all the water and mosquito larvae from her lungs. He saved her with CPR.
You died, and I brought you back.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't putting up a kill graphic. Sorry, Charlie, but he ain't no damn doctor. I need a better diagnosis than, like, some kid. They hobble away from the flames, convinced they've successfully broken the curse. Sometime later, it's the day of the big dance. Steph and her dad take Charlie to pick up his prom date on the same street Iris and her boyfriend drove down in the opening scene. Charlie talks about how he brought Steph back from the dead, and his date's dad actually is the claim.
Well, technically, you weren't dead.
Shit.
What? I mean, if you were unconscious and Charlie got you breathing again, then your heart didn't stop.
You would know. He's a doctor. Dr. Reddick, in fact, named after Jeffrey Reddick, who wrote the first Final Destination. Nearby, a Penny's getting up to no good. In fact, the same Penny that would have caused the Skyview disaster all those years ago. In reality, Iris snatched it from the disgusting little shitboy before he could throw it. She kept it in her premonition notebook, which Stephanie then inherited and carried around. Back at the hospital, it slipped out of the book and was picked up by a lady who's now trying to spend it on some lemonade. It escapes the clutches of capitalism and rolls itself onto some train tracks, the same ones from the movie's first shot. Well, wouldn't you know it, that goddamn Penny ends up derailing a whole goddamn train. The Invisible Man couldn't...
Let me just say this. That is most likely done because it was actually a very common myth that if you were to take a penny and put it on top of a train track, it would cause the train to derail. I do not honestly believe that a simple coin, of like maybe only a few millimeters in thickness, could derail a almost 500-ton train, however much train weighs. I personally don't believe it.
Be prouder as it crashes towards Steph and Charlie, who run for their lives. Right when it seems like they've made it, Death gets in one more joke and reference to the infamous log truck. 2 logs fly from behind the wreckage and crush both siblings, which is just fucking heartbreaking, but also, I mean, that's life in this series, isn't it?
Hey, not just that, but this is the first time in any Final Destination movie to where no one survived. That is literally a first. Normally at least 1 or 2 would survive until at least after the credits. It's like a prime example is in the first one. 3 people survived. No, it was like 4 people survived. Then there was one that died just before the credits. And then the other ones died in the sequel.
How much blood was on the line in this deadly family reunion? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
Oh, piano. Alright, number.
We counted 147 deaths in Final Destination Bloodlines. The victims consisted of 4 women, 5 men, and 138 Skyview victims that we can't really get a good gender breakdown of, so we'll call them unknown. Enjoy this pie view chart. As far as the franchise goes, Bloodlines had the second most kills, only coming behind the original Final Destination.
Oh,
I forgot how small scale some of those other disasters were. With a runtime of 110 minutes, we had a kill on average every 44.9 seconds. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Eric. There are a lot of options,
that is
but between the piercings joke and the brutality of the gore, it's an all-encompassing kill, simultaneously mean and hilarious and disgusting. Dom Machete for Lama's kill, I mean, I gotta do it, all the fuckers on the board. It's just newspaper articles. It was annoying to figure out if it counted. It's an obvious winner. And for Final Destination movies, I give out the Primo Premonition Award for the coolest death featured only in a video, since those don't technically qualify for the Golden Chainsaw.
That is
for Bloodlines, I'll give it to Alfred Milano, obviously. I mean, the Mater D was dope too, but that disgusting little shitboy had it coming. And that's it. Final Destination Bloodlines came out in 2025 to massive critical and box office success. Another movie is already in development, and we can only pray it's half as fun as this one. Until next time.
So those are gonna be 7 of these damn things total. Good lord.
James A. Janice, this has been the Kill Count. On the next.
I would normally let this play on and show us what's on the docket for next week, but this week we have 2 kill counts. But I'm just gonna let this play for a moment to see if it is indeed the video game kill count. If it is, this video will end.
Kill count.
Yes, it is. Alright, everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I want you to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.